Hello, is that the Health Ministry? Yes, hello, can I speak to Matt Hancock, please? Hello, Mr. Hancock. Hello, I'm now one of the vulnerable. I'm elderly. I'm 75 years old. And I've heard all about this app of yours, which I assume means appointment with a GP, which I simply can't get. But I do want to obey your instructions. The one thing I would like to know is, could you tell me, please, what exactly is a smartphone? I really don't understand this new technology at all. But I know you're trying to protect the elderly and the vulnerable, and those of us who actually have no idea what smartphones or even apps are. Anyway, that's all I feel. Stupid government. Just get more stupid every day. They make laws and they have their policies based on instant reaction to media coverage of stuff. So therefore, they do these stupid things. I just wish we had the same government as South Korea, who looked at the mad coronavirus scare inflated and exaggerated by the media and decided it was bollocks, looked at the truth, realised that this was a virus that was trivial to 95% of people who got it, but very lethal and nasty possibly to the 5%, clamped down, did everything necessary, and have now come out of the whole panic about the pandemic or the panic-demic with 250 deaths in a population of 51 million people. Well, I reckon that's far more intelligent than what the British government did. Anyway, enough of all this. It's like Brexit, isn't it? Boring! I watched last night a wonderful TV show. I've actually watched it now, and they're showing 2 half-hour episodes a week, so I've watched 4 episodes of Normal People on BBC One. Absolutely brilliant. I really think it's incredibly well acted, incredibly well written, really true to life. Absolutely wonderful show. Incidentally, tonight, Monday or Tuesday, I don't know where we are anymore. Yes, by the way, it is number, hello, welcome to Day 43 of the Coronavirus Diaries of Geriatric 1944. Boing! Now, back to the reality. Yes, tonight the A Word is back on. This has been one of my favourite series for ages and ages. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge Christopher Eccleston fan for a start. I think he's one of our great actors and he's superb in this. I also like Lee Ingleby like mad. I think he's a really good actor. And the kid who plays the autistic child is incredible. I really recommend that. But getting back to Normal People, last night they covered the couple getting to university, which is interesting because for a start it was Trinity College Dublin. Now I made a pilgrimage to Trinity College Dublin once because my hero, and indeed the man I'm named after, Jonathan Swift, went there, Dean Swift. And I happened to be in Ireland doing some TV or something. I think it was the Gay Byrne show years ago, and had some time off and went and took a look around and saw everywhere he'd been and all that. A lot of the Normal People, episode 4, is set in Trinity College in Dublin. A beautiful show. But thinking about days of being in college, one of the reasons I love this show so much is because it really does ring true. But life as a student now is completely different from what it was back in the 60s, which is when I was at university. Interestingly enough, at Trinity College too, but mine was Trinity College, Cambridge. I had a great time, loved university, even stayed there. I had my first hit during my first year and was offered a fortune to leave university and go on tour, second on the bill to Gene Pitney, incidentally, another of my heroes, at the rate then of £1,000 a night, which was considered a great deal of money, a 60-date tour around Great Britain, which would have made me £60,000. And I said, no, thank you. And they said, why not? I said, well, I'll be back at university studying. And they said, you're studying, why don't you leave it and come and make £60,000? And I went, £60,000, by the way, now would be sort of £1 million. And I said, no. And they said, why not? And I said, well, I love university. And what's more, I'm studying English literature and I love reading. And all English literature course was reading and thinking about what you'd read. Funnily enough, there was a lot of that in last night's Normal People. If you haven't seen it, please catch up because it really, really is brilliant work. And do watch the A-Team tonight. The other thing about the 60s, I'm very proud of our students then. We liberated the world. Being homosexual or gay was illegal back then in the 60s. We legalised it. Taking drugs or experimenting with drugs was illegal. I never did. I disapproved of it for me, but I never said others shouldn't do it. And we then opened up that area as well and allowed people to experiment. I don't think that was actually, in many cases, very wise because an awful lot of my friends from that era are now dead. And I think the drugs taking actually had something to do with them being dead. I see a really famous musician, I think someone from the Stranglers died today. I will bet you anything they smoked, and certainly probably smoked hash, way back in the 70s and 80s, and I bet that affected their lungs, and I bet that when coronavirus arrived, part of the vulnerable is people who smoked cigarettes or hash. Anyway, I'm proud of our generation of the 60s. We did open up minds. We cherished above all things tolerance, love, decency. Well, they should today as well. I'm sure they do, actually, but now with the laws so bizarre and so strange, I mean, way back those days, if you said to somebody, do you fancy a coffee, like they do in the Students' Union, and they said, no, not really, that was it. You tried it on, but it didn't work. These days, straight to court, attempted rape, jail for 15 years. The world's gone bonkers. Anyway, I think I'd like to play one of my tracks, which I always think is really an amusing lyric again. And I recorded it way back in the 60s, in a time when actually you really couldn't write about things like this because it was illegal and you actually had to phrase it in a way where it could be an innuendo rather than what the lyric actually meant. But have a listen and see you tomorrow to I Don't Want to Be Gay.
Beg me to come to